Greetings. This is we're at Chiang Mai International Airport, and the objective today is to try and fly to Hanoi in this 747 with PSX. And I just want to start by saying that I'm no expert at doing this, and streaming is something that's completely new to me. But anyhow, let's get into this and see how it goes. I'm going to be using PSX, which you can see at the bottom of the screen here, Microsoft Flight Simulator, which is at the top here, and that's all connected together already with Wide PSX. So Wide PSX is allowing PSX to drive Microsoft Flight Simulator. So Microsoft Flight Simulator, to all intents and purposes, is simply a drone that is being driven by PSX. We are cold and dark. We're at gate 6. We're at Chiang Mai International Airport, and it is dawn, and there has been no flight plan created yet. Absolutely nothing. We're just simply cold and dark and sitting here at the airport. And I have on a screen to my right, which I think I should be able to show you. There we go. Pilot to ATC, which is a payware ATC program. And I'm going to try and use that for this flight. And again, this is something that's pretty new to me. Now, just one thing about Pilot to ATC, it can't connect directly to PSX. It has to work through the positioning of Microsoft Flight Simulator, but Microsoft Flight Simulator is being driven by PSX, so everything should work. But I need to keep the radios tuned to Flight Simulator, and so Pilot to ATC has a radio panel here, and it has a transponder here. So during the flight, when I change frequencies, you're not going to see me change them on the PSX frequencies. You're going to see me changing them on this side screen here, which probably will be out of view. But this is already connected, and I already have Chiang Mai ground set up, so I can start talking to Chiang Mai ground straight away. And I also have the flight plan in here, which I've already preloaded. It's not the actual flight plan that we're going to produce shortly, but it's almost the same. In fact, to all intents and purposes, it is the same. But I've preloaded it just for the sake of trying to speed everything up. So let me go back to the main screen, and that's where we'll probably stay for the rest of this video. So let's go ahead, and as I say, I'm no particular expert at this, but let's see what happens. I'm going to go to the overhead, and I'm going to turn on the battery, standby power, and I need to pull up the wide. This is the control panel for PSX, and I'm going to go to the service tab, and let's have external power for the moment, and then I can apply external power to the aircraft. And so now we have power to the aircraft, and I'm going to save a little bit of time as well, and I'm going to turn on the IRSs. They're going to take 7 to 8 minutes to line up to a line, and so that's going while we go off and to the office and get our flight plan. So you can see here that the IRSs are aligning. Okay, so let's go now and work on getting the flight plan. So for that, I'm going to use SimFest, which is and I will put all the links in the down below. But I'm going to use SimFest to plan this flight, and I'm going to show you just how quick and simple this is. So first of all, we'll go and schedule a flight. So let's have a new flight, and this is going to be flight 999 from VTCC to VVNB, and we're going to be TG 999, and our departure time is going to be about 40 minutes from now. So I've got it showing now that UTC 0830, but yeah, I'm going to put the departure time, okay, 0830, let's say 0915, and that should give us time. 0915. No, I think I got that wrong. It's not, it's 2115. So let's put that there, okay. And we'll save that. Alright, so now we've got our flight here and in the schedule. So let's now go and plan that flight. This is the flight that we've just created, and let's go and plan that. Now, in order to do this, you need to have a SimBrief account, which I do have, and it's now going to SimBrief and it's producing the flight plan. Of course, if you want to be more specific about how you plan a flight, there are many other ways to do it, but this one is a very easy and simple way if you're not particular about picking your own route and setting your own weights and everything like that, which for this purposes I'm not. So now we've already got that, so let's go and see what the briefing package looks like. And here's the complete briefing package for our flight. We've got an operational flight plan, and whoops, and down below we have a load sheet. So we've got all the paperwork that we need now to plan our flight. So we'll leave this kind of up and we'll go back to the flight deck, and we'll go to the FMC now. I've just realized I've forgotten to do something here. I'm using not only the SimFest planning tool, but I'm also using something called BA cars or bar cars in PSX, which is an add-on that gives us an ACARS system, which is supposedly a copy of the British Airways system, and so that's what I'm going to be using. And again, I'll put notes in the stream afterwards about how to find bar cars. But it's a great program by a chap called Gary Oliver, who's done so much for the PSX community. So let's now go to ACARS. Okay, and the first thing we need to do in ACARS is to initiate the flight. And our flight number is 999. So let's just put that in there. And we'll send off an initialization data request. And that goes off to the British Airways, or to our, in this case, to TG's. We've come back with the wrong flight. That's okay. Bear with me 1 second. Let's go back to the schedule, to the briefings. Okay. Okay, let's. I think we have to delete previous flights. Okay, let's try again here. Sorry about that. And let's okay, so now we've got the latest flight. You can see in here we've got VTCC as our departure and VVNB as our destination. So the ACARS has worked, that's fine. So now let's go to the FMCs here. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to request ATIS for VTCC, and we may as well get VTCC, and let's get VVNB while we're at it. So let's send those off. Okay, and we'll wait for the uplink. We've got a message is received. Okay, so ATIS, there we go, and let's just print that. And you'll see one of the things about this simulation is that it has its own printer, and so we're now going to get the ACARS printout, the ATIS printout. Here we go. So here's the ATIS printout for our flight. So this is what we've got. Now I just mention here that within PSX we've got our own weather, and I've got this set to live weather. I'm not going to go into too much detail here, but we're connected to the internet, and this is downloading the live weather, I think maybe twice an hour, maybe more frequently, I'm not sure. Sorry if I got that wrong, but it's downloading and updating the weather all the time, live weather all the time. And that's the weather we're going to be using for this flight. Okay, so we'll go on this side. Let's go into the FMC, and the first thing we need to do is initialize our position on the FMC. That's done, and now let's do the route. So we'll load that. That's VTCC VVNB01. Okay, not in the database, that's fine, so let's send a request for that. So that's now going off to the company headquarter computers in Bangkok, and that's going to send us back our route. So let's wait for that for a second. Okay, right, so now we've got something back. Let's load that. Okay, VTCC, VVNB, that's great. Okay, so we've got our route. Now we can take a quick look here. Let's go to the plan mode, and we can see already that if I go to the legs page, we can step that through. Okay, Monlo. Okay, well, I know from experience that that is correct. So, okay, and while I'm here, I'm going to save a little bit of time, and I'm going to put in our departure. Now, what I should really be doing here is going back to our plan and to the briefing. Okay, there we go, to the briefing here. And we can see from the flight plan that we're going to be using the Monlo 1N departure, and from ATIS we can see that we're using runway 36. So let's go and do that. Departure runway 36, and we're looking for the Monlo 1 November departure. So we've got that, and let's go to the legs page here. Now we'll have a quick look here. Okay, so now we've got the IRSs aligned. Let's get rid of that, and let's go to map mode, and we'll just very quickly step through that, make sure that it's correct. So we've got NIMA, Noble, X-Star, and Monlo, and that's the end of the SID, and then we've got the route through to. Okay, so that's good. We can activate that and execute. Okay, so that's the route now done, and I'm not sure how long we are into the process, but I don't think it's very far. So now let's go over to this side, and let's do the performance. So the performance initialization. Okay, we've already set the IRS position, and so let's. Okay, so now we need to get some information which we can do, and what we'll do is we'll again send that off to our super planners in Bangkok and see what they send us back. Okay, so that's been sent, and we're going to be able to check this by looking at our load sheet, which is here. All right. So they're telling us that we are 242.8 is our zero fuel weight. 242.8, that's correct. All right. And fuel is going to be 21 tons, 20.992, and we've only got 8 sensed at the moment. So this would be a good time to go back to the services part of PSX and start the fueling. You can see it's already pre-selected the total for us, and all we have to do now is start the refueling process, and you can see in a moment that this will start to rise as the fuel starts going on board. We're at 8 at the moment, 8.1, so that's working fine. So what we'll do is we'll accept what Bangkok have sent us. Alright, and we'll now go through to the thrust limb page. Okay, so what's our D rate for this? That's insufficient fuel because we're still refueling, so we can clear that message. So what's our D rate? Well, let's go back and see whether Bangkok can help us at all with this. We'll go back to the ACARS menu, and let's get our performance request in. So we are VTCC, and we're runway 36, we know that. Okay, and let's get our trusty ATIS down here. The wind is variable at 2 knots, so it's almost negligible. So let's just put in here 000 at 02, and so that'll do for our wind. And our temperature is a balmy 21 degrees. Wow, that's great. That's one of the advantages of being in Thailand. And the QNH is 1023, so 1023. Alright, so that's enough information there. We've got 2 pages to deal with here. Estimated Takeoff weight, well, we need to go back here. Takeoff weight is 263.7. It's 263.79, so it's 263.8. Okay, so we'll put that in 263.8. Alright, that's our estimated takeoff weight, and our Mach toe is again from the load sheet. We get 19 for Mach toe, so that's great. We'll just pop 19 in there. Okay, and we'll send that off to our trusty friends in Bangkok and see what they come back with. Now this is going to come up on our trusty printer here. We're going to get a nice printout from the friends in Bangkok, and they're going to give us our performance information. So let's go back to here, and we'll wait for that to come back. There it is, like clockwork. That's wonderful. Okay, so let's just get this down here and take a look at it. So what did we say our takeoff weight was today? It's takeoff weight 263.8. So that's around about 264. That's saying 59 degrees, then 138, 138, 148. So let's start by putting 59 degrees into here. Okay. Let me just check that that's correct. 59, 264, that's right. Alright, so that's giving us an Ifr of 1.55, takeoff and climb 2. So we'll accept that for the moment, and let's go to the takeoff page. Right, so they're telling us 20 degrees of flaps. Okay, so let's put in 20 degrees of flaps. That'll work. And our CG was 19, so we'll put that in there. Alright. Now they're giving us 138, 138, 148. We've got 126, 135, 149. Okay, that's what we could accept that right now, but let's send this off to our trusty friends in Bangkok and see what they come back with. Okay, that's been sent. Okay, now what have they come back with? They've come back with 126, 133, 149. Okay, I think we'll accept that. Alright, and we've now got notification that we've got our fuel load is loaded. So we'll just go, we'll check that in a moment. Okay, so now we've got the takeoff information set. We can go over here to the MCP and we can put 149 in here while we're at it. 149, and let's just check from our flight plan. No, actually we can do that, we'll do that later in a moment. Okay, so we've got the fuel, so we're not going to need that anymore. Performance, we don't need that one anymore, and for the moment we don't need ATIS anymore. We've got that. So let's go over to the legs page, and the last thing we need to get from our friends in Bangkok are the winds. So let's send in a request for that. And it's interesting, you're going to see here another feature of PSX. Let's go over to the position here, and if I find the aircraft and I zoom in, you can see we're in the midst of this purple haze, and that is basically a wind corridor within PSX, and so PSX is updated with the winds, which is so we're getting real live winds for this flight. That doesn't show particularly well, but if I zoom out, you can see that our flight is here are some of the waypoints for the flight. Let me just put an overlay, okay, a map, and then you can see here where we are. So there we go. So we're going to be flying here from Chiang Mai. Okay, that's good. We're going to be flying here from Chiang Mai to Hanoi, and the winds have already been loaded for this area in purple. If I zoom out, you can see that. Okay, so you can see where the winds have been included in the sim. Okay, so that's basically, I think we've got everything set up now for the performance, and we've got everything set up for the route. So let's just execute the wind upload. Alright, and we'll go back to the legs page. So we're ready here, and we're ready here. So now we're ready to do the pre-flight. But before we do that, we're going to try and get our clearance from ATC. And let's see if that works. Okay, so we want to get, now I suppose I can share this with you if I just transition. Okay, so now you can see what I'm doing here. I'm just going to pick up the ground frequency. Okay, I need the ground frequency, 121.9. Okay, and let's transfer that across. Alright, so now I'm going to try and get our clearance. Okay, so I'm going to push my yep, I forgot to change the call sign. I don't know if I can do that here. Let me do this properly. It would be a pity to okay, we're tie into 999, and we're an airline, and we're not going to have the heavy because it says it takes too long to. Alright, now we're back again. So we're now tie into 999. So I'm going to call for the IFR clearance, and I'm going to do that myself. So there's a push to talk button here. So tie into 999, ready to copy IFR clearance.
Tie enter 9er, we don't have a flight plan on file for you.
Okay, well that is pretty much understandable, so let's file our flight plan. As I say, I'm not 100% fluid with all this stuff, but let's see what happens. Okay, right, let's try and do this again. Tie into 999er, ready to copy Ifr Clearance.
Tie inter 9er is cleared to Victor Victor November Bravo, climb via the MONL1 and departure, with the Monlo transition, then is filed. Expect departure runway 36. Climb to flight level 190 via the departure. Expect higher clearances 10 minutes after departure. Squawk 5446.
Okay, so we've got our transponder set 5446. I haven't set the transponder in PSX. I can do that, but it doesn't have any effect. 5546. Okay, so that's just for completeness purposes. Okay, we need to confirm that we've received that. So I'm going to ask my co-pilot to do the read.
Tie inter 9er is cleared to Victor Victor November Bravo, climb via the MONL1 and departure with a Monlo transition, then as filed climb to flight level 190 via the departure. Expect higher clearances 10 minutes after departure. Squawk 5446.
Tie inter 9er read back correct. QNH is 1013. Let us know when you're ready for pushback.
QNH is 1013. Tie inter 9er.
Okay, so with the QNH, I'm going to use the QNH within PSX, which is 1016, and they gave us 1013, so we'll use the QNH within PSX. So I'm going to cheat by pushing a button on my keyboard, and that will set us to 1016 on both sides. Okay, so that's now all set up. So now let's go through the pre-flight and let's see what we've got.
Shutdown checklist. After landing checklist. Before landing checklist. Approach checklist. After takeoff checklist. Before takeoff checklist. After start checklist. Before start checklist. Pre-flight checklist.
Okay, so now we've got the pre-flight checklist. Let's go through that.
Pre-flight checklist. Internal and external preparation. Flight instruments.
Okay, flight instruments are set.
Parking brake.
Parking brake is set.
Fuel control switches.
Are off.
Auto brakes.
Auto brakes are RTO.
Passenger signs.
Passenger signs are on.
Pre-flight checklist complete.
Okay, so that's the pre-flight checklist complete. And let's go straight on with the next checklist.
Pre-flight checklist. Cockpit safety checklist.
Okay, we've done that in the wrong order. Never mind, let's just do the cockpit safety checklist.
Cockpit safety checklist. Gear pins.
Removed.
Battery switch.
Is on.
Standby power selector.
Selected.
Hydraulic demand pumps.
Okay, hydraulic demand pumps are off.
Landing gear.
Is down and green down.
Flap indicator and lever.
Okay, checked. Up and okay. We've got a difference there. Alright, so we'll leave that we will leave that on 1. Okay, we'll have to remember that. I'm not sure how you clear that one.
Fuel control switches.
Off.
Passenger signs.
On.
Cockpit safety checklist complete.
Okay, so now let's go to the overhead and do a run through.
Cockpit safety checklist. Shutdown checklist. After landing checklist. Before landing checklist. Approach checklist. After takeoff before takeoff check. After start checklist. Before start checklist. Pre-flight checklist.
Okay, pre-flight checklist.
Pre-flight checklist. Internal and external preparation. Flight instruments.
Okay, we've already done that, so let's now go to the overhead. Alright, and we'll get everything set up here. Okay, so we'll turn on all the fuel pumps. Alright. Okay, packs 1 and 3 are on. Okay, let's go from the top. Alright, we'll start the APU. Okay, and alright, we need to go to the upper overhead, and let's arm the emergency lights. Do it. Okay, that's a fire check for the engines and the APU and the cargo hold. Okay, that's done. Right, your dampers are on. Okay, and let's go back to the lower overhead. Let's turn on the beacon because we got power. Okay, everything else is fine. Now I'm going to go over to wide PSX. Alright, and I'm going to connect. I thought I was already. Alright, and I'm going to bring this over here because we're going to use ground services from PSX for the pushback, and I think we're now pretty much ready for the pushback. Let's get the APU power on, and we can now disconnect external power here, and we can close the doors. Okay, now you saw there's a door there that is now closed. Okay, right on, and we need to put the zero fuel weight, which was 220, and target pushback heading is 180, and the pushback distance is 190. And let's start the pushback module. Okay, so now I'm ready for that. When I'm ready for the pushback as soon as we're ready. Alright, so we've got everything set now. I'm going to put the... I'm never sure of the sequence of this, and haven't got a checklist in front of me at the moment, but I'm going to just do that. Okay, and so now check that the doors are closed. Okay, all the doors are closed, and APU is running. Now let's Let's call for the pushback. I can see no reason why we shouldn't push back now. Okay, so let's go to here and let's call the ground engineer. Cockpit to ground.
Go ahead, Cockpit.
Good morning, we're ready for pushback.
Steering pin is in place. Release the brakes, please.
Parking brake released.
Pushing back.
Okay, so there we go. Pushback started, so let's request the engine start now. Ground requesting engine start.
You are clear to start the engines.
Okay, cleared to start the engines. Alright, so let's go to the overhead and we'll start 3 and 4. Okay, we're getting indications over here, so that's looking good. I don't understand, I haven't studied sufficiently the readings for the engines. We've got something has gone wrong here because they're not starting. Oh, don't tell me that we've made a mistake here. Oh, I know why. Alright, so let's go to
Pushback is completed. Set parking brake, please.
Okay, he wants me to set the parking brake. Alright. Alright, we've failed to get a start here, so let's go back to the overhead and start again. We've done something wrong. I suspect it might well be this. Alright. So let's try again. Okay. Oh, that's a huge relief. Alright, now I think that that ground is waiting. Okay, they are waiting for me to parking brake is set. Sorry for the delay there.
The towing system is removed and the steering pin is removed.
Confirm removed. And you can disconnect now. Thanks for your help, and we'll see you on the left side.
Roger, we are disconnecting now. Have a good flight. Goodbye.
Okay, so that's the pushback completed, and we should have a start on engines 1 and 2. So let's go, 3 and 4. So let's start engines 1 and 2. And Okay, huge relief. We've got a start on both engines. Whoa, that was a close call. Okay, so let's go to the overhead and let's get the hydraulic demand pumps on and get that done, and we can get the packs on again. Alright, okay, packs to normal. Okay, and let's put the landing lights on. Okay, and we'll put the taxi lights on. Actually, the landing lights should not be on. All right. Now we can turn off the APU. Okay. And auto brakes are set. Okay, so now would be a good time to go back to a checklist and do the after start checklist. So before taxi checklist. Okay, the hydraulic demand pumps are set, anti-ice we don't need, packs are on normal, APU is off. Aha, we had the flaps disagreement. Okay, so let's see whether we get that sorted out now. Yes, thank goodness for that. So we need flaps 20, so let's go straight to flaps 20 and let's check the flight controls. Okay, so in order to check the flight controls, okay, so left, okay, right, okay, down, okay, up, okay, rudder left, okay, rudder right, okay. So controls are checked, and let's go for the recall. Okay, recall, everything is clear. So now we're ready to taxi. So let's talk to our dear friends in ATC and get a taxi clearance. Tie into 999, request taxi clearance to runway 36. Tie into 999er, requesting taxi clearance to runway 36.
Tie in turn 9er request taxi to runway 36.
Okay, we've gone out of sequence there, I think. I'm not sure why. Let's request to push back and see whether we can get back into sequence.
Tie in turn 9er ready for pushback and engine start.
Okay, so that hasn't worked. For some reason, pilot to ATC has gone offline. We'll see whether we can pick it up later. But let's hop into the cockpit and let's now taxi to runway 36 and let's get this show on the road. So let's go. Okay. And we'll just check the brakes. Alright, so they've given us some revisions here for our takeoff weight. So let's just set the parking brake and go and check those. Alright. So what we've got now is zero fuel weight is 219.8. So okay, I don't understand what that is. It's probably significant, but I'm going to ignore it because I don't understand it. So let's go back and continue the taxi. I'm sure somebody will be able to explain what that was, but so we're taxiing out now. I'm going to try and request the taxi clearance again.
Tie and turn 9er request taxi to runway 36.
Well, that's a bit of a bummer that we've lost the ATC. We'll try and pick it up again once we get to the runway. Oh, not very good at taxiing here, but it seems to be working. Alright. In terms of controls, I've got very minimal controls here. I'm using the keyboard and the mouse, and I've got a joystick with some buttons on it, and I've got a controller, an Xbox controller, but I'm using the Xbox controller pretty much only for changing the views, and I can swing the views round using the Xbox controller, and that's great because it doesn't have to be in focus. So I can get the views and then I can pop back into the cockpit again and steer this thing properly. So we'll just go up to the holding point and we'll hold there and then see if we can reconnect to ATC. If not, disappointment, but we'll just do the flight without ATC. But it would have been nice to have had that. Not sure what went wrong. Here's the holding point. Oh, I haven't been drinking, I can assure you of that, but a little bit wobbly. And here's the holding point for runway 36, so let's just stop here. And let's set the parking brake and have a go, and we'll change to tower. Right, so let's try contacting Chiang Mai Tower. Okay, and we're going to request okay, let's go for a request takeoff.
Ground tie and turn 9er ready for departure runway 36.
Tie and turn 9er winds are calm, cleared for takeoff, runway 36 squawk 5446.
Okay, they want us to squawk 5446. Okay, and we are cleared for takeoff. So let's acknowledge that.
Cleared for takeoff runway 36 squawking 5446 tie and turn 9er.
Alright, so let's now do the before takeoff checklist. Hydraulic depart MCP is set. Okay. Transponder is transponder is on. Auto brakes set for takeoff. Packs are on. Recall again. Recall complete. Landing and strobe lights are on. Strobe lights are on. Nav lights are on. And taxi light is off. Alright, checklist complete. So let's go and line up. Okay, and brake off. And a little bit of gas. It's amazing the power that this has just on idle. Okay. Now I've already spotted something that I haven't done properly. Naughty me. But we'll just get lined up and then I can correct that mistake. Okay, now I know this is really bad etiquette and protocol, but I'm going to set the park brake, and I need to go back and check the MCP properly. We need to turn on the flight director. We need LNAV, VNAV, 149 is correct, and we never even checked the VNAV. Okay, so climb, I'm going to set okay, cruise altitude is 350. That should have been checked a long time ago, so we're going to put that in there. Alright, okay, and transition altitude 11,000. Alright, so now I think we are pretty much set for departure. Okay, and alright on. Okay, we're ready to go. We've already got our takeoff clearance. Okay, excitement, let's go. Holding on the brakes. And we're moving. Okay, and
takeoff power set. 80 knots.
continue.
V1. Rotate.
Okay, Hanoi, here we come. Okay, positive rate. Gear up.
Gear up.
And we can go to flaps 10.
Flaps 10.
And now we can go to flaps 5.
Flaps 5.
And we can start the turn. Well, speed's looking good and turns looking quite good. Okay. And I think we'll now
Thai Inter 999 contact Bangkok Center on 128.1. Enjoy.
Center on 128.1 Thai Inter 999er.
Bangkok Center, Thai Inter 999 is with you, climbing through 6,000 for 19,000. Okay, well, we're not getting anything. I've probably done something wrong there with 128.1. Ah, there we go. That's why 128.1. I didn't push OK. All right. All right. Thai Inter 999er is with you, 9,000 for 19,000.
Thai Inter 999, good morning. Squawk 5446.
Tie into 999er, squawk 5446. Okay, we're coming up to transition altitude, and all right. Now we're VNAV path because we've got a restriction of 11,000, so flaps can come up. They should
Flaps 1. Flaps up.
come up a long time ago. Never mind. So let's just take a look outside. There we go. There's Chiang Mai behind us, and looking ahead, I got the mountains of northern Thailand. Wonderful sight. Okay. And now we've passed the restriction. Let's go over and pick up. Okay. We so we're waiting now. We're at 11,000. Restriction at XTAR. Alright, and in terms of speed, 314, that's correct. So we're just waiting for XTAR. We're held, and we're in touch with Bangkok Tower, or Bangkok approach, so that's good. Now we should be thinking about our arrival soon, so let's just give that a little bit of thought. Now I know from ATIS somewhere we had a piece of paper, that wasn't it, somewhere on the, aha, here we go, we can expect runway 11 right. Okay, so 11 right will work, and I happen to know that we can probably expect the Mike Charlie 1 Alpha approach, and let's just, before we execute that, let's just very quickly step that. Okay, make sure that we've got a straight line in. Alright. Yes, we have. We need to just clear that. Okay, that's perfect. So we can execute that. Go back to map. We're coming to XTAR, so now that we're continuing to climb. So that's good news. Alright. So now we've got our approach set. And while we're at it, let's (3143). So now we've got our VREF, our ref speed for approach. So that's all done. We don't have to worry about that anymore. Okay. Let's go to the legs page. Right. So we're now clear all the way through. So we're now.
Thai Inter 999 descend and maintain flight level 110 until passing Mike Oscar November Lima Oscar.
We can't do that.
Descend and maintain flight level 110 Thai Inter 999er.
Thai Inter 999 maintain flight level 190.
Thai Inter 999 maintain flight level 190. Oh, that was a bit of a surprise. Okay, but at least we're still in touch with them. Oh, what a beautiful morning. Wowee. What a wonderful sight that is. So Hanoi, here we come. It's looking good now for Hanoi, so we're at 17 for 19. Let's have a look at the progress page. Okay, time now is 1:22 and we're due into Hanoi at 2:17, so less than an hour to go. Oh, I didn't hear that. Oh, that was 1,000 to go. Right. Okay. So now we've come into VNAV alt because we're waiting for a clearance.
Thai Inter 999 climb and maintain flight level 270.
Thai Inter 999 cleared to flight 270.
React back incorrect. Thai Inter 999 altitude is flight level 270.
Thai Inter 999 is flight level 270.
Thai Inter 999 squawk 5446 climb and maintain flight level 270.
Squawking 5446 and maintain 270. Thai Inter 999. Okay, we're going to 270 and our cruise altitude is 350. Okay. Now what about top of descent? Where are we in relation to top of descent? Okay, we should be close to top of climb now. Okay. Oh, this is a little bit stressful, huh? Well, we're doing okay. Oh, what happened to the standby instrument here? Why is that not... Oh, what happened to that? I don't understand why that's what happened there, but okay, now what is the so many bits of paper in the cockpit here. The QNH at Hanoi is 1023, so we can set that. 1023, and now it would be a good time take a look at the approach chart for and it's ILS
1,000 feet to go.
one right. Okay, I got that. Okay, so the minimum is 238 is the minimum. So we need to set
Thai Inter 999 climb and maintain flight level 350.
Thai Inter 999 flight level 350.
Thai Inter 999 squawk 5446.
Thai Inter 999 squawking 5446. Why does he make me change the squawk so often? That's never mind. Mustn't complain. All right. All right. Now what we were doing here was we were checking the minimums. So and on the that will be 200. So fiddly. Okay, so minimums are set. We've set the QNH for the arrival. All right, we're climbing to 350, and everything is fine. Wow. So there's our approach. Yeah, not much to say about that for the moment. We'll just leave that over on the side. Okay. Good. Actually, no. Let's bring that back up again and take a. Go. We've passed Nan, and we're heading for Luang Prabang, and then across to Mike Charlie, Lapon,
1,000 feet to go.
Mike Charlie, and then into Hanoi. All right, 1,000 feet to go. Okay, we're still in VNAV path, that's good. We're doing something right. And we've gone to cruise as well, so that's, gosh, we're having a bit of good luck today. So we've gone to cruise. We're at 350, and we can bump up our speed a bit here. I think we can probably go to 0.83. But why? Let's just leave it as it is. Okay. I don't really, not sure what I would put in there. I think it's 0.83, but I'm not sure. But so let's not play with it. We're doing so well at the moment that we're better off just staying where we are. And I'm really impressed that pilot to ATC still seems to be working with us, which is after the glitch on the ground there for getting a taxi out. That's pretty good. So now the sim time here is early morning, but the actual time here in Thailand at the moment is 4:46 in the morning. I was up very early, wanting to get this flight, see if we can get this flight done. So I think I can see top of climb just beginning to, top of descent is 144, top of descent is at 150 Zulu, and it's now 133, so now would be a good time to go to the restroom if I needed to, but I don't, so we'll just keep going. And here is top of descent, so I can't just do that myself. I'm going to have to hope that ATC don't throw us a wobbler, because I'm not sure that I'm that confident of being able to deal with a wobbler. But anyhow, let's just revel in the fact that we've got to where we are, which is wonderful. Now I'll just bring this across again. See, we've left Nan and we're just now crossing the border between Thailand and Laos. We're heading up to Luang Prabang, and after Luang Prabang we start our descent somewhere around here into Hanoi. Okay. That's cool. Now you might just want to have a quick look at pilot to ATC. There's a little map here. This is also showing us our routing. You can see that there, which is quite neat. And I've got here the different frequencies, but they seem to be giving us those frequencies. So, and I've still got the radio tuner here, so we're in Bangkok Center. I don't know what the next frequency is going to be, so I can't put that in. And here's the transponder, so that's okay. And then this is the push to talk button here, that I can talk directly and it picks up my voice. And this is the read back, so you can have the co-pilot read back if you don't want to read it back yourself. And this little box here is an assistant which helps you with the words that you need to say, and the phrases for ATC. And I'm fortunate that I can remember some of those from the days when I used to fly for real. So that's pilot to ATC, which is a really neat.
Thai Inter 999 contact Venture Center on 128.3. Enjoy your morning.
128.3. Let's 128.3. Let's just confirm that. tie into 1283. Tie into 999. Tie into 999 to center on 128.3. Nope. VTCC center. Tie into 999 is with you at flight level 350.
Tie into 999, good morning. Squawk 5446.
Tie into 999, squawk 5446. Whoa, okay, so we're on VTCC center now. And let's go back, show you after that little wobbler with ATC, let's take a look out of the window again. So, gosh, we're really doing quite well. I like this pilot to ATC, so long as they don't throw us an unexpected change, which at the moment I'm not sure if I could deal with, but okay. Well, I'm doing this this stream right now, but at 9 o'clock Zulu, Sunday, 9 o'clock Zulu, later today, I'll be joining Steve for a flight, I think, from Copenhagen to Barcelona. He's going to be the captain and I'm going to be his first officer, so that'll be a shared cockpit later on at 090 Zulu. So if anybody's out there now listening, that's another one you might like to join later on. Okay, we're coming up to Luang Prabang, and in terms of progress, we're still due into Hanoi at 2:16, and the time is now 1:39. So, yeah, okay. We're 94 nautical miles, 150, 140, so 11 minutes to top of descent. Okay, and in terms of fuel, we're showing 270, and at Luang Prabang we should be 26.7, which is pretty much where we'll be. Okay, so we're fine for fuel. In terms of landing weight, we're going to be okay. We're under max landing weight. Okay. This is the first time that I've ever had all this stuff running together, and it is really very, very impressive to have the ATC and to have Microsoft Flight Simulator linked like this. Let's go to the drone camera. Now, I haven't really tried to set it up. I'm not going to do that right now. Let's go back in, and I'm more happy with this one. But that's magnificent. That really is magnificent. And actually, what I can do is, you can take a look at that. But if I bring Navigraph over here, and I bring up the world map on Navigraph. Okay, so now we can see geographically where we are. So we're at Luang Prabang, there's not much that I recognize here, except that Hanoi is here, and yesterday I did a shared cockpit with Steve, and we flew from Denver to San Francisco, and boy oh boy, the approach into San Francisco really was unbelievably real, and you could recognize all the various towns that we were flying over, Modesto and Hayward as we came in, and flying over Mono Lake, and we even saw Yosemite. It really was spectacularly beautiful, and of course that's bringing together the total fidelity of PSX, which is a 747 for real, and Microsoft Flight Simulator, which is the world for real. So this is a huge opportunity for anyone who's into this kind of simming. It's just unbelievable. I hope you're enjoying it as much as I am. Let's hop back into the cockpit. Now, is ATC going to give us a wobbler for the descent, or are we going to get a straight in descent? So our first restriction on the descent is 7060 above, and as we saw, the run in here okay, let's just bring that across. Now you can see our routing. Okay, we are now just after Luang Prabang. Let's get rid of that. Just after Luang Prabang here, and you can see that the star brings us in. So it's pretty much a straight in approach, not too complicated. If we didn't have ATC, it would be dead easy. So from Mike Charlie we come in, and we've got a restriction above 7060 as we join the ILS in. So okay, let me just go back and pull up the chart for the approach. Okay, so now you can see the ILS and our run in to the ILS. All right. Okay. I hope Ventian Center haven't forgotten us, and we're still connected, and so I'm changing the views here. The Microsoft Flight Simulator is not in focus. I'm using the Xbox controller to control the views here, but I'm still in the focus is still on PSX. The computer focus is still on PSX, which is really quite neat, so I can play around with the views. I'm not using the drone camera at the moment because I didn't set it up, but you can use the camera menu here, normally you'd have the zoom level at around about 80, and that takes away the some of the fisheye effect. And makes everything look a little bit neater and tidy. And if you do that with the drone view, and also if you lock the drone view over the airplane, it gives you fantastic opportunities for these sort of cinematic shots. But I haven't got that set up at the moment, and we're getting too close to top of descent to, I think, to play around with that. So let's hop back into the cockpit. Excuse me. Okay, and let's see. Now we're all set for top of descent. We've already put our approach in there. I think we'll just adjust. We'll do that again because we've dropped some fuel, so our speeds have changed a little bit. So that's now up to date. So we got 141 flaps 30. So that's good, and we need to arm the speed brake, and we need to set. We can probably set the auto brakes now. We won't forget that. All right. Okay, so auto brakes are set, and we know all we have to do. Oh, we've got an FMC reset. I can't reset because ATC haven't. Let's see whether we can request a descent. Let's ask them. Tie into 990 request descent. Tie into 990.
Squawk 5446 tie and turn 9er. Tie and turn 9er would like an en route descent.
Tie and turn 999 at pilot discretion. Descend and maintain 2,900 feet. Expect the MC-1 Charlie arrival with the MC transition for the ILS approach to runway 29 left at NOI by International after lap horn cleared direct Moscow.
Expect the MC-1 Charlie arrival with the MC transition for the ILS approach to runway 29 left after upon cleared direct Mach high and turn 9er.
Okay, so I think we're going to be okay. So we're cleared for the approach, and we're cleared down to 2,200 feet, and we're to expect the ILS 1 right into Hanoi. So that was very kind of ATC not to make that too difficult. That's wonderful. So now the next we can probably expect a frequency change. Okay, and it's at my discretion, so I'm actually going to set that to 7,100, because that's got to be above at November Oscar Bravo 30. Okay. Lamp on Mike Charlie. Okay, it's at Mike Charlie that we start to get the. Okay, let's have a look where we are. There we go. And there's lamp on. There's Mike Charlie, and that's the approach. So this is where. Let's just bring up.
Thai Inter 999 contact Hanoi Center on 125.9. Have a nice day.
125.9. Thai Inter 999 to Hanoi Center on 125.9.
Aircraft calling center, say again with your call sign.
Thai Inter 999 to Hanoi Center on 125.9. Hanoi Center, Thai Inter 999 is with you at flight level 290 for 2,200 feet.
Aircraft calling center, say again with your call sign.
Thai Inter 999 is with you through flight level 280 for 2,200.
Aircraft calling center, say again with your call sign.
Thai Inter 999. Thai Inter 999. Okay. No, it's not that one. This is really confusing at Hanoi with all these different approaches. Find that maybe. Here we come. That's the one. All right. Alright, so we're coming to here. So this is where we have the restriction above 7,060 feet. Okay, so let's bring the ILS on right again and clear that. Okay, we're still high, but we're catching back. We've got plenty of time to catch that back. Now would be a reasonable time, I guess, to arm the speed brakes, because then we've got everything set for the approach. Alright, so let's do the descent checklist. Pressurization is checked, landing weight is checked, VREF is set, altimeters are set, minimums are set, auto brakes on 2, passenger signs are on. We never turned them off, poor guys at the back. And recall is checked. Okay, so descent checklist complete. Now the transition level here is transition level is 10,000 feet. All right. Going pretty much to plan. And we've got our speed reduction points, and I can just see here the flap reductions, the flap extension speeds as well. Okay. Alright, so now we've come back onto our descent path. And in terms of descent below 10,240. Okay, so we got 10,000 to go to transition altitude. We're on Hanoi Center. Center 1259, squawking 5446, and you can see here pilot to ATC is updating our position to Mike Charlie, and then the Mike Charlie 1 star starts here. Okay, so now so that's how it's keeping track of where we are. That's pretty cool. Okay. I'll just bring up Navigraph again. And let's just overlay that on the map. Okay. That. So here we are, we're just about to enter the star, and we've got the arrival ILS on here, so that's good. I just keep that off on the side. Alright.
Thai Inter 999 fly the MC-1C arrival, with the MC transition QNH is 1013 at NOI by International.
Oh, I just pushed the wrong button. Disconnected the... Okay. Thai Inter 999, fly the Mike Charlie 1 Charlie arrival with the Mike Charlie transition. QNH is 1013.
Thai Inter 999 information not available for altimeter not currently available.
Thai Inter 999. Okay, I'm not going to use the altimeter setting that they've given me here. I'm going to use the altimeter setting that's within PSX. So let's just check what that is. Weather, it's 1025. Okay, so that's what I'm going to use here. And let's just set that. Oh, that's so small I can hardly see it. Okay. Well, I accidentally disconnected Pilot to ATC there, but I've reconnected it again and it seems to be working just fine. So let's just try calling them. Thai Inter 999. Thai Inter 999 radio check.
Thai Inter 999 you are loud and clear.
Okay, so they can still hear us. That's a good way to make sure that you're connected. Just ask for a radio check. And that'll work every time. Okay, so we're coming up to November Oscar Bravo 30 and with our own restriction of 7100, so it's recognized that. So now I'm going to go down to the stay 7060 until we cross that, so that's fine. Okay, so let's just do the landing checklist. MCP altitude is set, gear we're not down. Okay, let's just get the lights on and then we won't forget that. Alright, on. So let's get the landing lights on. Taxi lights off. Okay, landing light. Oh, why won't they go on? Oh, why won't the landing lights stay on? Okay, now they seem to have stayed on, so now I think I'm going to go down to 2,200, which is our cleared altitude. Okay, 2,200 now. Missed approach altitude is 4930. Why can't it just be 4,900? 4,930. So we're going to put 5,000 in for the missed approach. Okay. So speed is now down to 240. I think I'm going to take up. Okay, that's cabin ready. I'm going to take over the speed shortly. 240. No, we're still. Oh no, I just let it automatic. Well, what a view that is out there. I don't know what river that is. We can actually probably have a look here and see. I don't need. No, I can't do that now. All right. Okay. So now we're through transition altitude. So reset the altimeter, and we can. For some reason we're not following this star. We must have made a mistake there. Anyhow, we're heading for Lima India Mike Bravo Oscar, right? Echo Oscar. Lima India Bravo Echo Oscar, right here. We're heading for that. So we're okay, and that's where we need to be, 7060. All right. Tie into 999, radio check.
Tie into 999, you are loud and clear.
Good. All right. Okay, so we're coming up to this altitude restriction here of 6070, and we're spot on. And I'm going to take over speed now because we need to start reducing our speed. So we'll open the speed window and we'll shortly start reducing. Auto brakes onto 2. Okay, everything is looking pretty reasonable here. Okay. That's the turn that we expected. We're coming up to flaps 1. So let's go flaps 1.
Flaps
now.
1.
And let's bring the speed back to the flaps 1 speed, which is 200. Okay. Now we want to have gear down and flaps 30 by the time we make the ILS intercept. So here we are, we've got the ILS, we've got the glide slope, and we've got the localizer active. So that's good. And we're coming up to flaps 5. And that's 181. Speed of 181. Now, something's gone wrong here because we're speeding up.
Glide slope alive.
Okay, so let's arm the approach. And we got an FMC message there. Drag required. Okay. Now we're leading off the speed. We want to go 181. And flaps 5.
Flaps 5.
Flaps 10.
Flaps 10. Localizer alive.
Gear down.
Gear down. 1,000 feet to go.
Gear down.
Flaps 20. Flaps 25. Flaps 30.
Okay. Everything's looking pretty reasonable. We've done our checks. Now we can reset the 4,000. What was it? Missed approach 4930. So 5,000. All right. So check. Flaps down, landing gear down and green, speed brake armed, auto brakes are on, 2, landing checklist complete. Gosh, it's gone eerily quiet, and I don't have a landing clearance from these guys. Tie into 999 radio check.
Tie into 999, you are loud and clear.
Okay, well, I don't know why they have not given me a landing clearance, but I'm not going to spoil the flight just for that. We can sort that one out afterwards. So we're going to be landing on 11 right. Let's just line up the... Okay. Okay, we got land 3, but I am going to do the stupid thing, and I'm going to try and land this. Myself. Now I'm notoriously not good at this, but
"50 feet above."
Minimums.
continue.
$50, $40, $30, $20, $10.
Well, it wasn't that.
80 knots. Auto brakes off.
Okay. Now I have no idea where the gates are, but never mind. I'm just going to come off here and look for a gate. I think the terminal is on this side, I'm not sure. Yeah, there's some gates. Oh, fantastic. Whoop. Okay, I'm going to just stop here and clean up everything. Okay, and so let's go. Let's get the APU started. Okay, and now we can continue to taxi to a gate. That looks like a gate, so let's just take that one. Okay, cool. Now let's get the parking brake set. Alright, let's go to the overhead and get the APU generator connected. Okay, so now we can go back, shut down the engines. And we can probably open the door. Okay. Open the doors. Yes. The doors are opening. Yep. The doors are opening, so we're shut down. And let's just go back to the overhead. And just quickly run through here. We want to get the demand pumps off. Alright, and we want to turn off the fuel pumps. Okay, that's done. We've got the packs are on. We'll leave those on for the moment while the passengers deplane. And that's pretty much it. So here we are in Hanoi. We're reasonably well parked at a gate. And I think that, apart from not getting a landing clearance or anything, I'm not sure what happened there, but that was that's it. And I hope you enjoyed this stream, and look forward to seeing you next time out. Thanks for joining us.